Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at a new real grade. It is the Real-Grade Evangelion Unit 01 DX Positron Cannon Set, and I'm really excited for this one. I've been waiting to check out the Real-Grade Eva kits. Now this is the second one that's been out. I'm still waiting to get my hands on the Eva Unit 01. It's been out for a while, but the DX version, which I'm waiting to get, has been hard to get now. So while I'm still waiting on that, we can at least check out Eva Unit 0 here, which does look pretty awesome. Everyone likes Unit 0 as well. There's the blue version and the yellow version. This is the yellow version. It also comes with different versions of the shoulder armor parts on it, kind of armor as well. And I'm really excited about it, so just let's take a look at what we can see here just around on the box first, shall we? So on the bottom here, we got a lot of photos and information here in Japanese and English. It says the real system condensed into approximately 175 millimeters tall size. So it's going to be just under about the normal size of a normal 1/100 scale Gundam kit. They're usually around 18 centimeters tall. This one at 17.5, going to be kind of about the same. It says there's a pursuit for realistic appearance and articulation mechanisms. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking out just how they've engineered the articulation for this kit. It should be pretty interesting. It's got realistic stickers. Yeah, I'm not really all interested in those. It has an entry plug, parts included, and then it says it works with the RG Evangelion 01 sniping equipment Type G components and positron cannon to recreate the Operation Yashima are included. So yeah, you can recreate the scene from the anime there when it uses the giant positron cannon. So there you go. And there's just a quick image of what it looks like when it is completely unpainted, just built up and stickered just straight out of the box. Looking pretty cool. Then around on the top of the box, we got more stuff just about the Eva Unit 0 itself. So this is basically kind of a breakdown of what you would get from just the normal version of this. You got the Eva Unit 0, you got the pellet rifle, you got the progressive knives included like one that's like folded to look like it's coming out of the shoulder. And then you've also got what looks like umbilical cable to plug into the back there as well, which is pretty cool. So you got your kind of basic standard accessories for this. You got a bunch of hand option parts, which look really great on there as well too. So I'm looking forward to those. I like how there's a difference in the name between which shoulder equipment you have attached on it. Just with the smaller regular shoulders, it's the Eva Unit 00, and then with the taller shoulders, it's Eva Unit 00 with a little apostrophe at the end. It's kind of comical. All right, let's get it popped open, shall we? All right, in here we've got 10 bags of runners, and our instruction manual, of course, here as well. So the instruction manual looks pretty typical real grade style with just the close-up CG render there on the front. On the back here, the sticker layout where all the sticker markings are going to go on there. Also, I mean, you can just see a good layout for where all the colors are supposed to be and everything as well too, where all the stickers go on the positron cannon as well. And then our color guide is down there on the bottom. You've got that there in Japanese and in English if you want to refer to that for the official colors for this. But these are all colors based on Mr. Hobby colors, whereas Gaia Notes actually makes a line of Evangelion colors in lacquer paints. So I have a bunch of these that if and when I get around to painting this kit, I'll definitely be able to use some of these on here. But they make these for the different Eva Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 0. So they make a whole bunch of these different paints here from Gaia if you guys are interested, just in case any of you guys weren't aware of that. But let's get it cracked open here, and basically just at the front we've got our parts list, and yeah, there's going to be quite a few runners in here with this, so it should have a lot of parts. That's going to be all for the better, I suppose. And we got some information here in Japanese and in English, which is nice. The unshackled original man-made giant. So some cool stuff to read if you want to read up a little bit about the Eva and also about Rei Ayanami there as well. And then it just gets right into the construction, starting off with the torso, it looks like first. So different from the Gundam RG kits, usually start from the feet. This one's starting off from the torso first. Once you build up all of that, then you move to the head and the legs. We've got some more information here about the weapons. And just like in the Gundam real grade kits here, usually this later portion of information is only in Japanese, and it looks like it's going to be the same here as well. So this is all about the different weapons and things. Mostly it looks like about the positron cannon. There's a little bit about the pellet rifle and the progressive knives in there, it looks like as well. But anyway, yeah, it's all in Japanese, but you got some more photos there to check out. Finishing up the legs and then the arms here, and the weapons, and then onto the second experimental high-power self-propelled 460mm positron cannon. Quite the name, but it wouldn't be Evangelion without a ridiculously long, goofy name. So then it's just about how to equip the parts and how to use the rifle and all that. Should be pretty self-explanatory, but we'll check that out in the review portion. Alright, so here is the sticker decal sheet, and this is specifically for this particular DX set. So the sticker sheet for the regular version will look a little bit different. It'll basically be missing some of these ones down here along the bottom, I would assume, probably, but you got some of those metallic super shiny ones that will probably be going around on some of the like sort of inner parts, I suppose, maybe. And then a bunch of these other markings, Eva unit, Eva 00 Proto, and some of these other just like standard caution markings and lining bits and things that'll go around to just add some little detail to the outer armor. Then you got your wire for the umbilical cable, I suppose, which is a pretty hefty one, and it does seem to be pretty easily formed into like any shape that you want, and it holds the form pretty well. So it's actually a really nice one, I think. One of the better ones I've seen from Bandai, that's for sure. Alright, and then I'm going to assume here that the first couple of runners are the same ones that are used for Eva Unit 01 as well, and probably Unit 02, because these are just marked RG Evangelion, that's all, and they seem to be just kind of the more generic Evangelion parts that can be reused between different units. So this is runner A here in plain white. Then runner B1 here is in this light purplish gray kind of color. This one as well, just RG Evangelion on the marking for that one. Then we do also have runner B2 here, which is in the pale yellow color, famous for Eva Unit 0 here. And this one also just a generic Evangelion runner, it looks like, but we got some more parts on there. The yellow does look really nice, I gotta say. And then runner C is in a really dark metallic kind of color here for these internal parts. You also have the progressive knives are molded on this runner here as well. And then the same thing for runner D is some more of the internal joint parts and everything like that. Runner E is back to that light purplish gray color for some more parts for the joints and some parts for the arms there, it looks like. Runner F1 here is in this really pale red color for just a couple little parts, and then runner F2 is a couple more parts in red, but this is just a kind of straight up red, much different from this very pale red here on the F1 runner. Keeping going with the small little runners here, we've got runner G1 with a couple more parts here in pale yellow, and then G2 with a couple more parts here in white. And just on a side note, I was just taking a quick look through all the runners, and it looks like all of the runners, as far as I've seen so far, are just marked RG Evangelion. So whether they're for Unit 01 or 02 or 00, then it looks like all the runners are just going to carry the same marking, it looks like. H1 here, really interesting, is all of the little yellow parts for the hands. So you will have an actual separate yellow part to go on like the top armor part on like each of the fingers. So that's really awesome. That's there in that pale yellow color. And then, excuse me, runner H2 is in a really super dark green color here for a couple more little parts to go around on the outer armor. Runner I1 here is some more parts back to that pale red color, and then runner I3 is a couple of yellow parts here as well. Then runner J, as you can see here, is a 4-color runner. We got one white part over here on the side, which looks to be for the entry plug, so that's just going to be all one piece in white, it looks like. And then the parts for the pellet rifle are here, dark green at the top, and then this really super dark gray kind of black part there at the bottom, so it'll give you some nice color separation. And then some of that light bluish gray color there for all of our hand option parts, which look really nice, I gotta say. Then runner K here looks to be like just parts mostly for the umbilical cable, but these are molded in molded silver and it looks pretty nice. And then we've got runner L for this one little clear red part there, I'm guessing for the mono eye of Eva Unit 0 here. Runner N here, another 4-color runner. We got a couple of little orange parts down there at the bottom, one of the light bluish gray parts up there at the top for the head or like the face, and then some black parts through here, and then some white parts there at the top. These are all now parts that are very specifically for Eva Unit 0. And runner O, another 4-color runner, clear red up at the top, green down here at the bottom, red over on this side, and pale yellow over here. And runner P1, this tiny little part here in clear green. Now we're getting into the parts for the Positron Cannon, and this runner is XD, so I'm guessing runners XA, XB, and XC were all used for the transport parts. The deluxe parts included with Eva Unit 01, and so we're starting off here with the unit runner XD for the deluxe parts for Eva Unit 0 here, so all parts for the Positron Cannon. We got one purple part up there at the top, probably used for Eva Unit 1's new shoulder parts. And then got some orange over here on the side, black throughout the center. Runner XE, another big runner here of all these parts in a very light blue color. Runner XF is some more parts in white, but this is a slightly different white from the white we've seen before, where the white before was kind of pure white. This one does seem to have a slight tint of blue to it. Runner XG is a couple of parts here in this kind of a pale forest green kind of color. Phew, but alright, wow, okay, that's a lot of parts. This thing is going to have a lot of little parts. If you're the kind of person that doesn't like putting together little pieces, not sure this kit is going to be for you, but I think it's going to be a pretty impressive build, so I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm going to get everything all prepared, live stream the build, and the next thing you guys are going to see, we're just going to cut right to the review, so let's go have a look and see how it came out once it's all built up. So, alright, here it is, guys, and I gotta say, this thing was super interesting to put together. If you guys didn't catch the live stream build of this, you can go go back and watch that here on my channel, but I would definitely recommend checking that out just to see how the building process went, because putting this kit together, it's a really interesting build. It's so odd and unique and intricate in some parts, especially building like the torso part, like the body, the way you have to build the different sections and everything to get all that movement there in the body. It looks awesome, and it was a lot of fun to build. The color separation is amazing, all the details, and just the engineering of the kit is really amazing. So we'll go over everything here, and also the Positron Cannon is fantastic as well, so we'll take a look at that also here. But let's just get the obvious out of the way first in admitting that the stickers look like crap. The stickers don't look good on there on any of these. Any stickers on like a white piece is going to look fine, so you're not going to really see the outline, but the stickers on the black parts just don't really fit on there well, and that's good. You have these like little tiny red stickers that fit on like the little bump there on the knuckle on the hands. That like sort of fits on there, but it's such a tiny little thing. These are like lining bits on there, sort of look fine from a distance, but they're also just seem like completely unnecessary. You have a ton of really nice part separation, and just like this color separation is all separate parts. There's no stickers for any of this, so like that all looks great. You kind of just don't really need the stickers. The only stickers that actually do look pretty alright are the foil like super shiny chrome stickers that go on like a few parts there on the inside. Those look pretty alright. Other than that, any stickers on the outside, I'd say I would just avoid those unless you're super set on using them. But yes, and the other thing to note is that I went for the Unit 00 apostrophe version, so it's got a different chest piece. Here is the other chest for just the regular Unit 00, and then the shoulder piece as well, going to be different. I prefer the taller shoulder piece, and again, this color separation, the red and green parts, those are all separate pieces in there, so it's just really, really cool. But let's dive into some of the articulation. Now, first of all, the head goes up to there. The head itself is just attached via a ball joint, so it can just move just a little bit, actually not all that much. I kind of wish that it could point down a little bit more, but that's kind of the extent of how far it can point down, which basically looks like it's just looking forward. The joint there in the neck will pop out like that to lift up, and then to move forward, you got this like kind of sliding mechanism. That yellow piece on the back of the neck is like a sliding piece of armor when you move the head forward like that. So you've got another joint there at the base of the neck to move forward. And again, all those red pieces are separate little pieces in there on the neck. It's really cool. And when you move the head forward and slide this part back and open this part up, that is where you can slide the entry plug down into there. Now, as we saw on the runner, the entry plug is just one solid white piece, but you have this sticker that just wraps over the whole thing to cover it, and it just looks awful. It doesn't fit on there at all, and I think just like putting this in here, it's just gonna look really stupid, but there you go, that's like that. I would definitely recommend painting that up. It's got some really tiny little detail on there, so I think some water slide decals would definitely work a little bit better. But yeah, there's your entry plug. In the torso here, you've got a series of articulated sections here that kind of accordion forward and back like that. You can also bend those side to side here as well, so you have some really nice articulation there in the stomach section. And the shoulders are attached into the body via kind of like a double ball joint, so you have a ball joint at the base, and then this will also move up and down, and then just the shoulder itself will rotate around, so it's very like organic, human-like. This little bit here on the side can also move up and down on its own just to kind of get out of the way for raising the arm up, so you can bring the arm all the way up like that. And so the whole arm will swing forward and back really nicely as well. You can see you can bring it really super far forward. And then for the rest of the arm, you've got some rotation here, which does seem to come loose a little bit if you rotate that too much, and you kind of have to pop that back into place. Then the double joint in the elbow will give you a really full bend there for that. And then at the wrist, you have a joint at the base of there, well, that will move forward and back like that, and then of course you can rotate that around as well. And we've got a bunch of different hand options, so we'll go through all those in a moment. Also, this panel here on the side of the arm can rotate. That whole kind of bit just rotates, and that actually rotates the hand there as well. So this whole section of the wrist and the side of the arm, that will all rotate side to side, which is pretty interesting. Down here in the hips, you can get the legs out to about there. As far as I can tell, that is the extent of how wide they go, which is pretty wide, but I kind of wish that they would go even maybe just a little bit wider, but it seems based on the hip joint there, that is the extent of that. They will come all the way up to the front, so no trouble with that. And then when you bend the knee, there's a really cool gimmick here where the top piece of the thigh also will pop out slightly, so you see when that bends, that pops out of there like that. When you got the full bend there at the knee as well, this knee armor also has a little bit of a bend there to that. And also I should note, depending on which version of this you build, this piece here on the front of the thigh will be different. For this version, it's supposed to be gray. Whereas the regular 00 version, it's just supposed to be white. And then down here in the feet, first of all, up underneath the feet, that part separation again is fantastic with the red soles and then the dark green part there inside. The feet will be able to move side to side there. This front part is just on its own separate ball joint like that, so that can just move around. You can bend the foot forward up to there, back all the way down to there, and then you do have some toe bend here as well. So the articulation is pretty fantastic. And now as for the hand options, like I said, we've got these closed fists here. We also got a set of flat karate chop hands, open resting hands like this, open extended hands like that, and a third set of open hands which are like kind of like holding hands. I think this is supposed to be like a rifle support hand basically. And then two styles of holding hands here. So these would be holding hands for holding the progressive knives, I would imagine, and trigger finger extended hands for holding onto the rifle. So let's take a look at those. We have two of the open progressive knives. This one also have like a chrome sticker that goes along the edge of that, but this is all just molded as one solid piece here like that. And we also have the folded version, which is slightly thinner than the open version. I guess that's just to make it fit into the shoulder armor better, but you can see that's much thinner there. And so this folded version also has some stickers on that. This will fit up into the shoulder. And when you open this up, you can actually store the knife up in there, so it fits in there just for storage, but I find it's then kind of hard to get out of there. You kind of need to use the other knife, I think, to get this out. But once you've got that out, here you go. It's actually kind of a pain to get out of there, but there you can sort of like set it in there so that it looks like it's popping out. There's not really any mechanism to kind of hold it in place, so it should be like something like that, like he's about to grab it. But I guess this is just meant to just be stored in there. So anyway, here is the rifle, which also looks great, except for the stickers, which are already peeling off, even though I just put them on yesterday. This yellow piece there, that's a sticker. That's not an actual separate yellow piece, but the red in there is a separate red piece in there. Once again, you got some kind of chrome sticker in there as well, here and there also. The barrel is a silver piece, which does look pretty nice. So overall, the color separation on this does look great, just minus the stickers. I love the color separation and the detail. It's a really nice looking rifle for this. And then we have the umbilical cable, which is also really cool. Just the red parts, how you string them together through this. It all looks really nice. It just plugs into the back and you have this nice sturdy wire. And then this plugs down into an action base, which is pretty cool. So you can just plug that down into your base, and then it's actually on a little ball joint there as well too. So you can get a little bit of articulation out of that. And then you can plug this into your Ava for a simple base there. Now you'll notice the other thing is that it just doesn't have any way to plug this onto an action base. There's no peg hole up underneath the legs or anything. So if you want to have this up on an action base, you'll have to use one of the other different attachments, like the little like hook claw to like grab around its waist or something. Then for a size comparison, here it is with the standard RX 782 1/144 scale kit. So you can see it's going to be pretty tall, probably closer in terms of overall height to your standard master grade kit, but of course it's very thin. It's not going to have the bulk what we would normally see in like a Gundam kit, for example, but it's a pretty tall boy or girl. But even if you can't get it up on an action base, I guess it kind of doesn't really matter all that much, since Avas don't really necessarily fly. I guess it just could be cool for doing some jumping poses or something, but I'm sure you could sort something out with that, like I said, just with different attachments. Overall, the kit looks fantastic. I mean, just once again, just the color separation is amazing on this. The engineering for just doing different poses is so good. The stickers kind of suck, but I mean, they're just sticker markings. They're never really great on anything, so it's not really too much of a surprise there. I mean, even without those though, I mean, what you got here with the package, and this is just so far just covering what's included just with the standard kit. We haven't got into what's included for the DX set here yet, but I just wanted to give you guys a look at some different posing options and things you can do with just the base kit in case you're not really interested in getting the DX set. You just wanted to get just the standard one. Here's some cool stuff that you can do with that. But alright, so the Positron Cannon here, I love this thing just because, just like with the main kit itself, the color separation and the detail is fantastic. You might have thought that, you know, maybe just because it's like a big extra weapon thing, they might have cheaped out a little bit. It won't be like quite as nice as the main kit, but no, it's really nice. All the part separation in there, it's pretty crazy. Notice not really particularly anything really moves on it. It's just kind of there as it is. But again, the color separation looks really cool. All like the hang treads underneath everything just looks great. You can see there the handle where the Evangelion will hold on to that. Then you do also have the optional shoulder part here. Now this is meant to be for Ava Unit 1, but it can be used with this kit as well. The only thing is that this back part here, which is purple, is going to be purple on this kit as well. You can't use the yellow piece that's included with this kit for the back of the shoulder, so that would be the wrong color, but otherwise this can be used with the Eva Unit 0, so it does work well. Alright, so there it is. It's going to be pretty long and not really fitting on my base too well, but you guys can get the idea anyway. This is a really great kit. I love that they extended the RG line out to include these Evangelion kits as well. I can't wait to get my hands on the Eva Unit 1. I actually just got news today that that's just shipping out, so I should have the Eva Unit 1 pretty soon. We can take a look at that as well. And then not too long after that, we got the Eva Unit 2 coming out as well, so I'm really looking forward to that. These are really awesome kits. Definitely, if you're an Evangelion fan, I would highly recommend checking them out. As for if you really need the DX version of this, I would say if you really want that cannon, then if you want to use that for posing, then I would say then yeah. Otherwise, I mean, just not really entirely necessary. It's a really cool thing to have, but there's not really a whole lot that you can do with it. Basically this pose, and that's kind of about it. So that's going to be about it for the review here today. If you guys have any other further questions or comments about this, do feel free to ask down in the comment section below, but I highly recommend it, again, if you guys are fans of Evangelion. So check out the link to USA Gundam store there down below. Use my coupon code there, and thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Have a great day. Bye, guys.